By that time, I had forgotten about God, and everything just went downhill. I'm getting off track. Long story short, and it's going everywhere. I have some news. It is official. Hello, guys. I have something big to tell you guys. Little update. I've been keeping it under the rug because I wasn't too sure yet if that's what God wanted me to do. It is official. Your girl going back to college. You're probably wondering what I'm going to college for. Now, if you know, I've been to college twice in my lifetime. First time I went to college, I was literally 17. I was a senior in high school, and I had started a summer semester in Brighton and Stratton for criminal justice, and by that time I was pregnant with my first child. Very young. Yes, teen mom. Yes, I was a teen mom. And I was also in a very mental and verbally abusive relationship that just hindered my growth, and I was just very naive. I was very lost, a very lost girl. And truthfully, like, I wanted to, at that point in my life, I wanted to like pursue this criminal justice degree to become a cop, right? It ended up just not being for me. I love it. If you know me. Dang, she's up. One thing about me, I love anything that has to do with like detective work and things like that. But at that time, I got really scared, obviously being that young. Black Lives Matter was such a big thing, like cops against minorities, and it just kind of just scared me away. Plus, on top of being pregnant, chasing this guy that just wanted nothing to do with me, and becoming this new adult, going into the adult world, like paying bills, and I was just, like, if you know my story, long story short, it ended up as just a very suicidal moment for me. Like, I really truly felt like I just couldn't deal with all the things that I wanted to do, and life was just really hard. I was really young. I didn't know. By that time, I had forgotten about God, and it was just like everything just went downhill, and I ended up, becoming very suicidal and almost taking my own life. And then I ended up finishing, like, I graduated high school and I went straight to college. I was pregnant, and then once I had Caden, I took a break from college. Then once I had him, he was like, what, 6-7 months, I decided to go back full time. I'm working 2 jobs also. I'm getting off track. I'm just telling y'all my life story. This is long story short, and it's going everywhere. But by that time, obviously going to school full time, having a baby for the first time, having a house, bills for the first time, chasing a guy that just did not want anything to do with me. Plus, I had opened my doors up for my dad, who had a drug addiction by that time, that was released from rehab, and me just, trying to carry the world on my shoulders and just forgetting about God, period. And it all worked out, truly. Maybe that's a story for like another day. But okay, Sage just woke up, so I'll be right back.
Several days later.
I'm so sorry, guys. I did not forget about you. I know it's been a few days, but let's get back into it, right? So I was letting you guys know about my first time going to college, right? As a first-time mom, and the adversity I had faced with my dad, who was in drugs, my child's father, who was just not good for me at all by that time, and trying to maintain other family relationships and things like that, plus getting pushed into this adult world where I'm paying bills and I'm working jobs and carrying everything on my shoulders. And it's like, I look at that girl now and I'm just like, wow, like, I am no longer her, because I know that none of that was meant for me to carry it. I could have just gave it to God. But anyways, I am who I am because that girl. So all love to her. She was young, she was very naive, and she She was really, really lost, and I'm just so happy to be found. But anyways, let's carry on, right? So then my second time going into college was back in 2021 when COVID was around, right? By this time I had lost my job and I decided to get unemployment, which if you remember why couldn't we get that money now? But anyways, I'm not gonna question it. I would do so much better with that money now than I did before, I tell you that. But anyways, I decided to go back into college, and this second time I was getting into social science in ECC for a 2-year degree. Now, I wasn't completely educated on what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to get into psychology, hopefully with the dreams of being like a youth mentor or youth counselor. I still didn't really know much about like the college. Like, I didn't know social science was just a pathway to an actual degree. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, I thought it was like, oh, I get social science and I become a youth counselor or something. Like, no, it wasn't that. Not just that, I also was not committed. At the first semester, I was committed, yes. But I was struggling because I was, once again, now this is my third relationship in my life. That relationship itself, it was like, it stemmed from trauma, and it stemmed from alcohol, and it stemmed from like smoking and things like that. It just stemmed from that, and it just did not lead me well. Like, I hate that, you know what I mean? Like, I was just, once again, still naive, still living in the world, and you know, trying to like maintain this relationship that is like hanging on by alcohol and like weed and stuff like that. It's just, it was just not it. And the first semester, I'm doing great. I'm getting A's, I'm getting B's, but mind you, had I not went to college again, I wouldn't realize how smart I actually was. I'm like, wait, like, I'm smart. For my entire life, I literally thought I was just this dumb girl, and I knew I was smart, but I just didn't understand why I couldn't get high grades. And what affected me was my ADHD. And growing up and being into psychology and things like that, being into the brain, and finally seeing, what I was diagnosed with and the things I would struggle with. Once I did my research on what ADHD actually was, I started to become knowledgeable with it, to the point where I could actually cope with the things I was like with my bipolar depression. Once I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, I was able to look into it, and I was able to like pinpoint my manic episodes, which were huge things that would like set me back in school. But once again, I ended up going to college my second time. I ended up abandoning it my second semester because I was too busy partying, drinking, smoking, just doing a whole lot of things that just were not good. You know what I mean? Like, once again, just not focused. So fast forward to now, right? I have given my life to Christ, and I no longer smoke, I no longer drink, I no longer party, I no longer I'm no longer driven by lust. I'm not chasing men, I'm not chasing relationships. I'm just not, men are just, you know what I mean? Yes, I want my husband, you know what I mean? And God knows that, but this is not the time to be searching for anyone, you know what I mean? And my husband is gonna find me. My husband, and when time is right, I'ma know. Me and God is locked in, babe. We is locked in. Me and God is locked in. So I'm gonna believe when God tells me this is your husband. And now, honey, now I can discern my voice, devil's voice, and God's voice. So, but anyways, I know I am in a place, like, truly, what better time to go to school and really finish strong than this time? So I was thinking, right, you guys obviously seen that, I was applying to mad jobs. When I tell y'all applying to mad jobs and nobody would hire me, like, I was going to open interviews, I was out here doing mad. I was putting in time, babe. Putting in mad resumes, even doing cover letters. That's how desperate I was. I was doing cover letters and all. But yeah, putting in the time, putting in the effort, and nobody would. And I kept praying, like, God, what is it that you want me to do? Seriously, what do you want me to do? Because I'm confused. And then I started to think, I'm just like, I've been putting school to the side, putting it in my back burner, because I'm just like, how am I going to do it? How are you going to do it? You have a toddler, evil thoughts coming in, right? You're not smart enough. You're not doing this and that. So what I am getting into school for is sonography. So at the moment, I need a pathway degree to get me into sonography. I can't get into sonography unless I get an associate's degree in healthcare. So I have decided that I am going to pursue my associate's degree in medical assisting, which will lead me to sonography. And Lord willing, right? The reason why I picked medical assisting was obviously because, if you know, I had my phlebotomy certificate, and I know a lot of jobs also hire medical assisting with phlebotomy. Now, my goal is not to be a medical assistant. Completely not my goal. But I know that that is easier to attain rather than going in. Like, I don't see myself as an RN. I don't see myself as a I just don't want to make it harder for myself when my goal is sonography. It's diagnostic medical sonography, right? So I'm just like, let's do medical assisting. So I researched, I did my FAFSA, like I did mad thing. I was proactive, leading to the point of finally getting accepted. And I was just like, okay, well, I know what I'm going for. I know what I have to do. I did my research. What does the sonography program require? And it's, it's competitive, yes, but I can do it. Now, my evil thoughts are just like, you're not going to be able to. And it was just scary. It was starting to scare me. And I'm just like, wait. Come here. Honey, fear don't come from God. And because this is the thing, y'all, because this is the thing. Now, I had seen occupational therapy, I had seen radiation, and I had seen, respiratory tech. And I'm just like, oh yeah, let's do one of these. But none of those were my passion. What I really truly wanted to do for years has been sonography. For a really long time. And there is a story behind it, which I'll do a separate story why I want to, what sparked my interest in sonography. But what I really wanted to do was always sonography. Now, none of these programs, right, are scary. But when I think about sonography, it's already fear in there. I'm like, oh no, I gotta go for it. Because ain't no way that all these programs that are also competitive are not scaring me. But to go into sonography, which is something that I am passionate about, is scaring me. That's where it is. That's where Satan don't want me to go. And that's where God is leading me. Because fear don't come from God. So if I feel fear, it's because there's something in there that I have to go for. So I am excited. I'm so excited. Like, clearly you see, like, I am so passionate about going back to school this time around. I'm just like, and I've always love, if you know me, like, I love just learning. I love being able to learn and being able to just expand my knowledge and things. And finally graduating has been something I wanted to do for a really long time too. So this is just something that it makes sense. It makes so much sense. So I prayed on it and I told God about it. Hey, listen, like, if this is meant to be, like, lead me right. And, and I did my calls. I did everything. I finally got my schedule, you guys. And even Sage goes, okay, the best part about it is that you guys obviously know that I was doing this childcare search for a minute too. Make sure I was doing this childcare search for a minute, and I was like, like, deep down, it's like, yeah, I know I had to separate from my child, but it's gonna be hard. And I just love the fact that I am able to go to school while dropping her off at childcare at school. How exciting. Like, we both get to go to the same place. I get to like peek maybe, you know what I mean? And my schedule is actually not that bad. Like, okay, so I'm going to school full time. It's really not bad at all. And I just can't wait. I really can't wait. I start September 4th, and I'm just really excited for this new chapter. And I just want to say that God will literally provide absolutely everything for you to be able to do what it is you desire, as long as it aligns with his will. You know what I mean? Like, everything is paid for. I don't have to go to work. I do not have to go to work. I have to steward. I have to still manage to steward the money I do get. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't have to worry much. You know what I mean? Because he got it. He provided. And it's like, that was like my mindset. I'm like, I don't have to go to work if I don't want to. So why not take advantage of going to school and getting my degree to get me out of poverty once I am done? And it's like, yeah. And then also, one thing that was like stuck in my mind is just like, bro, you're 30 years old. You're about to be 30 next month. Like, you're about to go to school, and you probably won't finish till about 4 years, Lord willing, right? 3.5, 4 years. You're gonna be and I'm just like, I needed to get that out of my head. And I know I am not the only one that thinks it. There's other me's out there right now, or other millennials that are wanting to go back to school, but they're afraid because it's just like, you feel too old. And it's just like, I've been thinking about sonography, guys, for a very, very long time. Now, I've never pursued it because for one, the age thing always took over my thoughts. The fact that it was competitive always took over my thoughts. And, you know, life itself, bills and stuff like that. But truly, if it's meant for you, God really will provide, because I am living proof. I am absolutely living proof of it. And all glory to God, because like, I am able to finally do this, and I cannot wait to lock in, get this degree, and become a sonographer. Like, I will no longer live in poverty. I will no longer live in poverty. If I sacrifice these 4 years, I will get my family out of this. You know what I mean? Like, thank you, God, for providing. God knows how much this means to me. God really knows how much this means to me. And I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm very excited. And yeah, that is the big news that I had for you guys for a while. It's been something that I've been working on for a really long time. But yeah, I'm excited. My advice to you, to any millennial who is wanting to go back to school, do it, please. And if you do live in New York State, you guys, there is a SUNY Reconnect program for people that are aged 25 to 55 right now, and a whole lot of like field work, aviation, healthcare, technology. There's a whole bunch. If you want, obviously, like, just Google SUNY Reconnect, and it's a program right now that actually pays your entire way of school, as long as you get the degree that they have. And a lot of it is just like, you know, things that are in high demand right now. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. You're never too old. God, if it is meant for you, I promise you, God got you. God is going to provide some way, somehow. Get that degree if it is meant for you, girl or boy. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys. Hopefully I'll do another story time, but that's my good news. Bye.